everybody. Welcome back to ParaMystic Podcast. I'm your host, Kristina Bloom, and this is my amazing co-host, Glenn Boddice. Welcome, Glenn. How are you?
Hi, Kristina. I'm very hot and sweaty here in the UK for once, rather than being damp and wet, because we've had a bit of a heat wave here in the UK.
But now you're warm and wet, right? Like you're just sweaty.
Yeah, moist. I like that word.
Yeah,
That's the word of my day, moist.
It's kind of that way here too. Not so much in Wisconsin anymore. We had a little bit of a cool front move in, but I have all the windows closed and the fans off, so it doesn't interrupt my sound quality. So
taking one for the team.
Taking one for the team. Taking one for the team. Before we get started here, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has supported my GoFundMe. I'm so grateful for the generosity. We're almost actually to the goal. We're at 93% of the goal. And I am incredibly grateful for that you guys have no idea how much of a weight that is just lifted off of me. And I am so, so, so grateful. Quick update on my health. I for the most part, I feel good. What you're hearing in my nasals, that's just allergies. Happens every year, so that's no big deal. I do get tired, so I'm learning how to manage my energy, how to rest up ahead of time and how to reserve energy, and then how to rest up after I do stuff. And you know, it's a whole new learning curve on personal energy management. And I appreciate everyone's patience with that, because I've not been as active on social media. I've not been going to as many events. I've mostly just been taking care of myself, which is really what I need to be doing right now. So I so much appreciate the love, the support, the kind words, all of it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see. Oh, I've been keeping up my time. I've been playing with oil pastels. So I've been learning art. It is, it's a little bit different art form. Normally I'm doing writing, but I just felt like the push to go visual. So, it's been interesting. I'm not going to say it's good art, but art is not meant to be good necessarily. It's meant to be creative. And so that's something that I've been doing a lot of to keep myself balanced and keep moving forward. I will have a new podcast coming up, storytelling. So I'm jumping on the storytelling bandwagon. So if anybody has a paranormal, mystical, cryptid, whatever, as long as it's a little weird, send me your story and I will be happy to add it to the new show. Haven't decided on the name yet. I'll let y'all know when I do. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the storytelling aspect, and we'll see where it goes from there. I've been doing a lot of studying and watching other storytellers and seeing how they do it, and just kind of refining my skills before I throw it out there, which is sort of new for me. I generally jump first and then try to refine my skills. Like getting on a plane and going to another country and recording 10 episodes of a TV show. So in that case, I am passing it on to Glenn, because he was the mastermind behind that show. And we had so much fun and worked our little buns off doing that show. So tell us all about it, Glenn.
Oh, we did indeed. Well, first of all, congratulations on the fundraising. And again, thank you for everybody supporting Kristina. She's a lovely soul, as you all know, and very deserving of that support. So thank you for that. Also, before I answer your question there, I want to refer back to your artist oil paintings that you've been doing. And what a great form of expression that is. And probably your soul knew it was time to express maybe some of those energies that you've been holding within. And I've always said, art is in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? So who are we to judge? Right. It will resonate with somebody. Do you know what I mean? So it's a very healing form of expression that goes on.
And if it only resonates with the artist, perfect. It doesn't
Yeah,
have
then
to be
that's where it's
something else. Yeah.
that's where it's meant to land. But yeah, to go back to your original question, I will get there. The TV show that we worked on together is called Into the Void. There we go,
Yes.
right on cue. Look at that. And the show is basically two mediums. Who knew? Two mediums, one from the USA, our good host there, Kristina Bloom, and myself, Glenn Boddice, from the UK. And basically, it all started. Do you want me to tell the story, or do you want me to keep it short and sweet?
No, go ahead. Tell the story.
Okay, so the story was Kristina and I, we've been doing, shows together for quite some time, and we connect on a regular basis. And she happened to just mention, just like that. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm doing a conference in the UK in August. Just like that, as she does. And
no big deal.
no big deal. Are you around? Well, yeah, obviously, I'm in the UK. And then my guides popped this inspirational moment into my mind. And so I asked Kristina, when are you going to land? When are you going to leave? And she says, why? Why? What are you thinking? And I says, well, my guides have just brought this idea in for us to do our very own TV show en route to your location. So, I will pick you up from where you land in the UK, which happened to be Manchester, and then we'll work our way down the country, visiting some sacred sites, some paranormal cities and locations. And we'll just give the viewer our personal, as it happens, accounts from an American medium and a UK medium, and to see that interaction and those beautiful locations. So anyway, with this in mind, I pitched this idea to Kristina. Kristina, being Kristina, said, yeah, I'm in, which was brilliant.
Twist my arm.
Yeah, from that moment onwards, we decided to plot our route and find locations that we found interesting. Now, this is important. I should mention this because as mediums, we don't like to know any information. We don't do any research. All we did is we got a map up of the UK and we just thought, oh, yeah, that place looks interesting. Yeah, that's en route. We'll go there. And then we did it that way, didn't we? Right. And so we wanted to keep it fresh so that when we arrived at these destinations, you got our genuine response, because we'd done no research or anything. We knew none of the history of the place. And so we just landed there, connected in, and recorded our encounters every step of the way there on this journey to remind me where it was. It was Bridge something, wasn't it? It was down in
Bridgewater.
That was it, yeah. That was our final destination in Somerset. So we made our way down the country and we decided we were going to do 10 episodes in, was it 5 or 6 days? It wasn't very long.
Well, it was 6 days because we actually recorded 11 episodes.
Oh, we did. And that
the first one, we had sound issues and we couldn't use it.
That's correct, which was a shame because it was a good adventure, that was.
It was, yes.
But so we planned it out that we was going to do 2 episodes per day. And my word, was it hard work. Getting up at 4 in the morning.
We are nuts. That's why we decided to do 2 episodes a day. But it was so much fun.
Oh, was it?
Fun. Yeah.
That
hard work and a lot of fun. We did a couple of lives while we were on the road.
Of course we did. And we did 2 podcasts as well whilst I was on the road. So, we're no slouches when it comes to hard work, are we? When we get our brains together.
That one brain cell was doing overtime that week. It was really...
Was it just? Yeah. And so anyway, we've reached that point now. I mean, this was last year when we filmed it and got together, wasn't it? Yes. And we decided, we'd pitch it to various companies and organizations for their consideration. Well, we've done that. And we thought, we could be waiting an entire lifetime for kickback from that. So we just thought, we were excited filming it. We're still excited about seeing it again. So
Yes.
why not share it to the online communities? And in fact, that's what we're doing. We're releasing one episode every single month, aren't we, out of the 10
We
episodes?
are. Yes.
And throughout the course of that month, we're going to be plugging that episode for the entire month, and then we move on to the next episode. So if you do miss it the first week it's aired, then it will be up on the social medias every week for that month. So do watch out. But
I am putting in your your YouTube channel.
Oh wow, thank you.
So it's Glenn Boddice Spiritual Medium, yes?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so it is on there, and for you to view, and it'll be on all the socials as well, shared. But let's hear your perspective. We went to some incredible locations, didn't we?
Oh, we sure did. In fact, the one that's up was filmed in Scarborough.
That's right.
Scarborough.
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 Yay. Now say Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce.
Oh, you're good.
I am good. I tell you what. Anyway, we also went to a lot of places, but the one that's up is Scarborough. And we talked to every possible kind of entity in that episode. We did. We talked to spirits. We talked to ETs. We talked to the Fae, I think. Or was it cryptids? No, it was elementals. We talked to elementals.
Yes, yeah.
In that episode. Yeah. So that's a lot.
And
it was
amazing. We went into a time loop, didn't we, as well? We got into a time,
yeah,
which was weird.
It was weird. And I've done time loops before, but I've never done them with somebody. So that was really interesting that we both went to the same place at the same time like that. It was very interesting. So yeah, it was, from my perspective, it was a huge adventure. I flew across an ocean, was picked up by this guy in a white panel van, and we toured the country together. It was awesome. It was awesome. And I just kept saying this whole country looks like a movie set, because all of my experience of England prior to that was TV and movies. So I didn't realize that they did actually have thatch roofs. They still actually have thatch roofs. It's amazing. I love traveling, and this was my first time overseas, and it was just incredible. And we got to meet some of the most amazing and some of the funniest spirits on this adventure. And I am really, really excited about the Stratford upon Avon.
Oh, that was my favorite location.
That was mine too. That was so much fun. It's a theater location, and theater folks are still theater folks, and it was a blast. Definitely treasured memories for me, and I am so excited that we are putting it out and people are getting to see it. I did have some computer issues last week. I thought I was going to have to buy a new laptop, but then it came back to life.
Oh no.
It somehow came back to life. I don't know. Praise be to the tech gods, I guess. But I will get it also posted on my YouTube channel. I shared it to my YouTube channel, but I didn't post it yet just because I was having technical issues, but I will take care of that. It was just an amazing adventure. And I was laughing this morning because we celebrated when we were all done with everything. We celebrated by going out for pizza. And
oh, we did, yeah, in Bridgewater, yeah.
Yes. And this morning I got an email from that pizza place telling me about their specials this month.
Okay.
So the reminders still come, and it was so wonderful. And Glenn and I have become very close friends, and it was just so much fun to hang out together. And we went a whole, what was it, all together? I think it was like 10 days or something that we were together.
Yeah.
And not an argument, not a disagreement, nothing. We got along just fine. So that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
It was brilliant. I don't know if you remember this, but in certain locations, there was a lot of the spirits we was talking to that said to us that they was aware that we were coming to speak to them. They were told.
Yes. Yeah, they
And
were
I was
aware
like,
at the time.
wow, how crazy is that?
Yep. Somebody's spirit guides are talking.
Yeah, somebody's
Yeah.
organizing it behind the scenes.
It was really cool. It was really, really cool. So, and it's funny because I had such an urgency that I needed to get there at that time. And I found out later after I got home, when I got diagnosed with leukemia, that's why I
Oh,
needed to do it before that happened. But of course, I didn't know that ahead of time.
yes, that would make
Yeah.
sense then, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So it was just such an urgency. Like I needed to get there. And I was like, okay, I'm going. I don't know why I'm going, but I'm going. And it was amazing. And, I'm pretty proud of myself. I didn't know that I had cancer and I kept up with you. Like, I'm
Did
really
you?
proud of
Yeah.
myself. Yeah. I mean, at the time I had it, I just didn't know it. So
Wow, yeah, because you walked up some of the steepest hills in Yorkshire, and also climbing
the tour,
the Glastonbury Tor.
yeah,
Oh, we both needed oxygen apparatus for
we
that.
did. It was a
Oh,
lot. And it was hot that day. So it
it
was,
was.
yeah,
Oh my goodness. So
yeah,
yeah, we've got an absolute trooper with us today.
yeah. We were
Legend.
having, it was so, so much fun and so worth it. I do it again in a heartbeat.
Oh, me too. It was
Yeah,
good. It was good.
yeah,
Some of the interactions, we won't ruin it for everybody that's listening, but you'll just have to stay tuned to the social media of
yeah.
Kristina's and myself's,
Yes.
and check out each and every episode and join us on that very special journey that we went on.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
amazing. If anybody who's listening, the grand you, have been putting off doing something, don't put it off. Go do it. Go do it. Whatever it takes, go do it. The money will come back, but the time won't. So go do it. I really encourage people to follow all
Excuse
of
me.
that. Yeah. You're coughing in my itchy nose. Welcome to allergy season, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got my fan on down here because it's very warm here in the UK for once. So
Yeah.
I think it's that. It's blowing my dust around.
Oh, well, that would do it. Yeah, that would
I'll
do
do
it.
it.
So, we've been talking about this grand adventure that we had, and with the information I got later about my health and everything, and it got me thinking. Like we were going to film this 2 weeks ago, and excuse me, I wasn't feeling up to it. I didn't have the energy. So that gave me the topic. Sorry, I was reading a comment, which I'm going to get to in a second, but it brought up the topic for me, and that's healing the healers. Because you and I are both healing people. We are both giving people. We are both light workers, and we are both sharing people. And so it's really amazing to me that sometimes, like you what was it, earlier last year when you had to have an emergency surgery, and
Yes. Yeah.
sometimes healers need healing. And I thought that would be a really great topic for us to bring up today, if you're up for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely up for it. Ready to
Yeah.
dive in.
All right. But before we do, when posted, if you're both okay, I would like to do a viewing of your episodes on the network, maybe on Saturdays.
Oh, yes,
Thank you,
please,
thank
Gwen.
you, thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank
Thank you.
you.
We'd love
Yes.
that. We'd love that.
Emphatically, yes, we would love that. All right. So should we dive right in? Should we just dive
Why
right?
not?
Healing
Why
the
not?
healers, it's very often we give away so much of ourselves, and we're not really aware of how much we're giving away because we have so much joy in the giving,
Yeah.
and how does that set for you? Like, how do you know when you're giving too much of yourself away?
Well, it's been happening very recently. Funny you should mention the last 2 weeks, because it has been happening the last 2 weeks for me. So generally, I know where I'm starting to get headaches. I'm dehydrated. I get muscle pains, like a flu-like symptom. Although I'm not having flu, it's just like a general ache all over. And in fact, the last few weeks, I've been working 6 days a week, and morning, afternoon, and night, and just having Sundays to do my food shop, the house chores, and then to rest. And these last 2 Sundays, I was trying to speak, but my words were coming out back to front. My sentences weren't making any sense. I was sounding like Yoda from the Star Wars films there. So for me, that's how I know I've been giving and doing too much, because I feel depleted. On extreme circumstances, now I'm a very placid, peaceful man, as you know, Kristina.
Yes.
On extreme circumstances, you can almost feel that agitation, which then, if you allow it to, can manifest into an anger, and you can be like, bumping into furniture, pushing furniture, dropping things in the house. It can manifest in many ways. So in extreme circumstances, that's how I know that, come on, you're doing too much. Whoa, you boat a little bit and reprioritize.
Right.
So
right.
What about yourself, Kristina?
For me, it's been, well, and of course my situation has changed because of different medications and whatnot, but typically it's just that I can't stay awake. At some point I just can't stay awake. I just fall asleep. I'll be sitting there, maybe watching TV or working on something, and just kind of doze right off. And am I hearing feedback on your side? I don't know. I thought I was hearing feedback.
No, it might be my fan at my feet.
Okay.
My earphone. I do apologize.
Yeah, I fail to recognize sometimes when I'm giving too much, because again, there's so much joy in the giving that I don't think about it until my body says you need to stop, or like you said, the sentences come out backwards, or just jumbled, or you can't follow a conversation, or when my mind gets tired, and it's hard to do that, hard to follow conversations, hard to create thoughts, hard to create anything. Trying to read, and I know you struggle with reading because of dyslexia, but if I've reached that point, I have no reading comprehension. Like, I can read the same page 4 times and still not tell you what it said, because I'm not absorbing the information. So that's when I know. Those are the signals that I get when I've given too much. Yeah.
Interesting. Something that's just sprung to mind with this as well. Do you find as well that you have to retreat, go into your sacred safe space, not be around too many people, because you're very delicate, and that that exchange of energy is happening again? So you find, I'm just going to stay in my own little bubble.
Yes. That little bubble is really a nice safe space.
Yeah,
it's a good place to go when I'm too distracted. That's another thing. I get very distracted. Background noise becomes very irritating. That's how we can tell. That's how I can tell that it's time to step back and take care of ourselves. And what does taking care of ourselves even look like? Like for you, when you're taking care of yourself, is it a conscious thought that I'm taking care of myself, or is it just, yikes, I need to retreat?
For me, I think it's a flipping of the script. Like yourself, we are healers. It's in our nature to give and be of service. We don't even think about it, like you say. So to give that healing back to yourself, you have to flip the script over and say, right, I need to address what's happening with myself, and not feel guilty about doing that. and look at your schedule during the course of that week and say, well, actually, do I really need to do that?
Right.
Can I go away with, can I put that to one side maybe for a later time and go through my schedule, although it is tight, and do that? It's same as house jobs. Usually they're the first things to be thrown at the wayside. I'm not going to wash the dishes. I'll do the washing next week. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And to me, any way I can find ways of scooping back some time for myself, not necessarily to fill up with activities, but just to be at peace, to rest, maybe reflect on the weeks that I've had, because probably like yourself, Kristina, it happens bing, bang, bong, and you don't get time to process what you've actually experienced a lot of the time, and it can clog your vibrations up. So giving yourself that time back for yourself to process, to rest, to recalibrate, to hydrate even as well. And something that's happened recently, as last week, I was finding that my breath work was out of sync, and I was feeling all peculiar, and I was noticing that I couldn't fill my lungs up with oxygen to the full capacity. I was breathing small, shallow steps. I was feeling dizzy, slightly peculiar, not myself. And so what I did is some conscious breathing exercises, and imagined as if I was going to dive into a swimming pool. Well, obviously you fill your lungs up to their full capacity, don't you? And you hold that air in. So I was doing breathing exercises like that, and I found that doing that, it helped me to recalibrate, get the oxygen to my brain and my blood, and I felt back on track again. But ahead of that, I must have been working on adrenaline for me to be breathing in that way. So I thought I'd share that because it was most peculiar. I haven't experienced that for years.
That is interesting, because I've noticed the last few days that I'm breathing more shallowly. I think a lot of it, at least for me, has to do with humidity. Like if I'm in heavy air, it's hard for me to take a deep breath sometimes. So I think that that's part of it too, is, it's the seasons. I know it's damp in England all the time, but when it's hot and damp, I can imagine it's harder to breathe.
It is a bit of a challenge.
Yeah. Interesting ways that we can take care of ourselves. So how do you what point do you decide I need to reach out to someone else? I need someone else's input. I need medical care. I need some other input to help me with my healing. At what point does that come up for you?
I'm very similar to yourself. So I try and do everything myself, and generally I don't like going to people cap in hand and asking in that manner. So it takes a lot for me to do that. Having said that, with what you was talking about earlier about me going into hospital and having an operation last year, that kind of changed that outlook of mine around that topic. So now I'm more open to offers of help and guidance and support when they come in. I don't just say point blank, no, I'm okay, thank you. I'll pause, I'll stay in that vibration for a minute, and then I'll feel into it and say, well, actually, yeah, you could help by doing this if that's okay. And I don't feel as bad saying that nowadays. But so yeah, it still takes a lot for me to ask for help. But I would say, actually, I came to you, didn't I? Was it the end of last year? I know we're both mediums, but sometimes our guides don't give us the full picture.
Right.
And sometimes it can form in a bit of anxiety within us. So I came to your good self there, and you put me at my ease straight away. That anxious mind that I was experiencing at the time, it just went away as soon as I heard the channelings from yourself and the wise words from your team. So I would reach out to somebody like yourself, or I have got energy healer friends as well. that practice sound healing and Reiki and all of that. And in fact, last year I was gifted some Reiki healing from a dear friend of mine. She was doing, I believe it was her master's, and she needed so many hours in the field with guinea pigs, I mean,
Yes.
clients, should I say. And she came forward and said, I would love to do some treatments on you because you give so much to others and you help so much, so many people out with what you do. If you're open to it, I would love to do some work on you and then get your feedback upon the work so I can put it towards, my exams and my masters. And I said, I paused and I felt into it. And then I thought, yeah, do you know what? Yes, I will. I will accept your gracious offer. And I'm so pleased that I did because I was spoilt. I had the Reiki healing, I had sound healing, crystal healing, all in the same environment. And I was there, out of it, relaxing. The next minute, I'm hearing birds around my ear. I'm hearing all of these nature sounds around me. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And when I was feeding back to her and I said, oh, I love that recording with the birds and that you was playing. She says, that wasn't a recording. She got the little bird tweeters that you can perform on yourself. And so she was literally physically going around my body and it sounded like a recording. It was amazing.
That is amazing. Wow.
So yeah, I would say it takes a lot, but I've become more open to it now.
Awesome.
So yeah, what about yourself? How do you reach out?
I reach out to you and some other people, so you and I have done work for each other. And I love that. I love that we can do that for each other. And I have also, reached out to other people. I have gone to shamans and received some drum healing and some other smoke healing with sage and all of that. Sweat lodges. I do occasional sweat lodges. And of course, my medical team, that I'm working with, where I am now paying more attention to my body than I ever have. So if something changes, I know who to reach out to. I know when to ask for help. And also just really allowing on my end, it's allowing others to step up, instead of doing, wow, itchy nose, allergies. Instead of doing everything myself, expecting myself to carry the entire load, I'm now allowing my husband to carry more of that load. And it's not like I have to make him do it. He wants to do it, but I always just did it. I don't know if it was just out of habit after being a single mom for years or what it is. It was just habit. But allowing him to step up and help and be a comfort and help financially when he can, because we got married later in life. So, he had his bills, I have my bills, but he's been helping as much as he can. And then, reaching out, asking for help financially was very, very difficult for me. And, when you have something like a GoFundMe, they're like, well, if you put it out there more often, you get more donations. And I'm like, that just feels so weird to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I've always been a hard worker. I've always been somebody who steps up and just takes care of it. And it has been a little bit uncomfortable for me to do that. And I'm totally minimizing when I say a little bit, but it's it's been a lot uncomfortable for me to do that and receive with grace, understanding that I'm giving other people the opportunity to give. That's something that I have to remember, is that if they didn't want to or they can't, they don't. And the people who do, I'm very, very grateful for, and I'm grateful to have offered them the opportunity to give from their hearts. So I think that understanding the balance of give and take has been phenomenal in my healing on every level, you know, and we're not talking about just physical, we're talking about emotional, we're talking about spiritual, we're talking about mental load, we're talking about all of it, you know, and realizing, I guess, that you can't heal one without healing the others. You know, does that, if that makes sense the way I said it?
It
But
does make sense, yeah.
yeah,
Because you'll be imparting some of your unhealed truths upon them, wouldn't you, by doing that?
right. Right. Yeah. So I just think it's so important that we take care of ourselves on every level. And sometimes taking care of the physical body is what our spirit needs. Sometimes it's what our emotions need. Taking care of ourselves emotionally by communicating, by asking for help, by throwing our hands up and say, I surrender, I can't do it all. You know, that's a mental healing, because that's exposing the ego. Because I don't know about you, but my ego is like, I don't need any help.
I I hear you, and I think you struck upon something really prominent in your explanation there. Being a single parent, you know, you have to do it. You have people that rely upon you, depend upon you. So in your head, you're programming yourself that there is no other option. I have to do it.
Yes.
And so going through, you know, as you grow up and everything, and your kids grow up, you then have to let that old version of yourself go
Mm-hmm.
in order to receive and know that it's all right. And I think the key, again, to what you were saying, is that learning to give and to receive in equal measures, because without balance in our lives, things can look very, very sketchy, can't they, on both sides of the fence?
They can.
So it teaches us that lesson. And I love the fact also, again, talking about balance, that not only are you reaching out and collaborating with medical professionals, you're also going into the metaphysical community as well for their wisdom and their guidance. So you're getting the best of both sides of that healing modality there, which I think
Yeah,
is brilliant.
I agree. I agree. And I feel like more and more people are feeling more free to do that. You know, I feel like more people are saying, yeah, you know what? I can go to a naturopath and I can go to a doctor and they can work together. And I am very blessed that my medical team and my uh, natural medical team work together. So I'm very, very blessed with that. And I fell right into the right people, and of course, that's the universe guiding me, right? That's the universe giving me what I
Mm.
need. But I also feel like if we allow it to happen, it can happen. You know, it can happen.
What
We can do that.
what I find also interesting is, yes, you're having to learn to receive that help, that healing, but you're still giving to those individuals, whether you realize it or not, because doctors, healers, they both need clients, they need patients.
Mm,
Without those, they wouldn't be the healers, they wouldn't be the doctors. So part of your higher self and your highest good has made that agreement to
yes.
do that, you know, because you're learning from the experience, they're learning from the experience,
Hmm.
and collectively that energy is helping humanity, isn't it? So
It is.
it's fascinating how all of these elements within our lives serve one another on some purpose there.
Right. It all weaves together. It all weaves
Mm,
together. Um, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything here. So there was something else that I wanted to, I don't know, this thought popped into my head, so I wrote it down, and I wanted to
yeah.
just bring, is healing emotionally and mentally the same thing as growing emotionally and mentally?
Oh, that's deep. That's a
Yeah.
tough call for a Monday evening here in the UK. But I will scratch my head and I'll give
Okay.
you my honest opinion on that.
Awesome.
Um, okay, so is it, just remind me of the question again,
Is
please.
healing mentally and emotionally the same thing as growing mentally and emotionally?
Mm, I would say no.
Okay.
And my reason being is because you can't grow without doing the internal healing work. You have to
Yeah.
debag, you have to get rid of that old energy, that stagnant energy that's maybe been in the background of your subconscious mind, in the back of your heart there, or you're carrying those emotions there. And with carrying that emotional weight, that old energy,
Hmm.
um, it's filling up a void, it's filling up space there. You need to release that, let that go, and trust. And in doing so, you will feel a little bit blank, empty, hollowed out. It's a
Yeah.
strange feeling when you've done that self healing work. And part of your soul or your subconscious wants to fill that void. So you may go over to the fridge and get some cake or some sweets, anything to
Right.
fill that void. The trick is, I say trick, the involvement is being okay with that emptiness, with that void there. And it's in those spaces where the growth can occur, where the enlightenment will occur as well, with that expansion of yourself, moving into new chapters, moving into new territory there can expand. Without that process, I believe you can't go from A to B in one step. You have to deal with A first, lighten the load, and then the journey becomes a lot more easier for you with less baggage, less um, energy blocks in the way, mental turmoil in the way. There's a level of acceptance, and you mentioned it earlier about surrendering.
Hmm.
And I think that is the key also to the process of growth, surrendering the old version of yourself and getting excited for who you are becoming.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I do. I see what you're saying, where you have to work through some stuff before you can get to the point of, okay, now where I'm sitting in the in between, now I have a choice. What am I going to fill this with? Right. So, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. That just
It's
popped into my head when I was meditating this morning. So I wrote it down because I thought it was kind of an interesting talking point.
definitely, yeah. I nearly fell off my perch when you mentioned it. So I had to take a moment to ground, to center.
There we are, safely on the perch. I think another thing that with healing healers is acknowledging that our spiritual path doesn't keep us from the human experience. And I don't know about you, but part of my experience throughout the years has been that some people expect that we don't have the human experience, like we don't have the struggles other people have because, well, you're psychic, you should just know. Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way.
No, it doesn't,
Yeah.
unfortunately. I remember something my guides were saying to me when I was at a stage where I was feeling anxious and I was asking them for guidance and things. And their response was, if we were to tell you everything, for one, what would be the point of you having that experience in this incarnation on planet Earth? You wouldn't learn, you wouldn't grow, you wouldn't make choices. And also, they said, to if we were to tell you everything, in your mind, you would want to cherry pick those nice experiences that we're telling you and not deal with the elements of growth that you have to go through to get to those nice experiences. So
Yeah.
they said, that's why we don't tell you everything.
Right. I have gotten a similar message from my guides, you know, because there would be no point in experiencing it if you're just going to choose it anyway, right? I
Yeah.
mean, and we do choose it, but we choose it with a little bit of mystery, I think.
Hmm.
So, yeah, but it is interesting how sometimes I just don't think it's fair. At least in the past, I've had that thought of this just isn't fair. Come on. I give and give and give, and then I get whammied. What the heck? What's going on here? So I don't feel that way now, but I have in the past at
Yeah.
different times felt that way.
Completely
Yeah.
understand what you're saying there.
Yeah.
And in many respects, I mean, the line of work that we do, yes, you can learn it along the way, but it is very much a life and soul progression doing this line of work. And
Yes.
so you have to go through some of those not very pleasant experiences so that you can learn and grow and empathize, because along your journey there, your healing journey, you'll be talking to people, guiding people, inspiring people that are going through the same thing. So unless you've experienced it firsthand, how are they going to listen to your counsel?
Right. Right.
So we don't want to hear it. Again, I don't like
No.
saying it, but it's the
Right.
truth. What we've
I
been through,
agree
isn't
with
it?
you. I agree with
It's just the truth.
It is the truth. It is the truth. I know, um, after my son passed, uh, almost every reading I did for about a year had to do with parents who'd lost children, you know? And I'm not saying that I think it's a good thing that he did. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that he did.
Mm,
But what I'm saying is it did give me that perspective and that level of empathy that I would not have otherwise had.
yeah.
So, yeah, dealing
And
with people with chronic issues, same thing.
if you're okay for me to share, didn't
Yeah.
you say to me at one level, when you're dealing with clients on that level, that your son in spirit now actually comes forward and
Mhm.
he gives you that healing, he gives you that connection that they need and that you need in that moment?
Yes, he does. He
And
does.
what
We
a
work
beautiful,
together.
beautiful
Yeah,
thing.
we work together. It's such a thin line between the physical and the etheric. It's such a thin line. And I don't think we always realize how thin of a line that is. But I think in our line of work, we have a more clear vision of how thin the line is. I don't think everybody has the opportunity to see it the way we do.
I think there is, I would say everyone can do what we do. It's where
Right.
you place your attention. There's a
Yes.
lot of distractions in this beautiful world that we live in.
Oh, that's true.
And so, for instance, at the moment, the World Cup is on, the football.
Hmm.
There's a lot of people, oh, look, the football. Yeah, yeah. But if they was to put that, no disrespect to people that enjoy football, each to their own, or sports or whatever you're into. But if we was to put that same level of focus and of attention into our senses and into what we experience and observe our body, then you would also experience this thin veil that Kristina is referring to. You'd be able
Right.
to have first-hand experience. It's just a matter of choices and where you decide to place your focus, isn't it, really?
Right. And isn't that the whole point of life on Earth?
Mm.
To make our
Yeah.
choices, to choose our experiences, and to choose how we deal with unexpected experiences. And that's where we get the full human experience as well, because we have things that come up that surprise us. You weren't expecting to have surgery, that you weren't. I'm sure there are many things over the years that kind of snapped you around and you just went, where did that come from?
Yeah.
So, and as have I. And so we get to experience the full humanness experience, what it feels like to be human. And some days it's like I think about, and I've joked about it a lot. You've probably heard me joke about it, where it's like, yeah, well, next time around I'm getting a better lawyer when we're writing this lifetime contract.
Hopefully, I don't want to come back. If I'm
I
honest, I want
don't
to explore
either.
the galaxy. I'm happy
Right?
with that.
Me too. I want to go explore somewhere else. I'm need a break. Well, this
So
has
you
been
touched
yeah.
you
Go
touched
ahead.
upon, just if I can
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
about the human experience. Obviously, we speak of the metaphysical quite a lot in our conversations. The human experience, it can be very, very taxing, very draining on a vibrational level. Um, to for example, there's various rules and regulations of the lands and of the countries, And to somebody like yourself and myself, we're about oneness. It doesn't make sense, and it doesn't align or feel right. And we're like,
Right.
I know we've got to function in this world, but there's some things that really, really affect our soul, isn't there, on that level?
Yeah, borders don't make sense to
Mm.
me. You know, like people are people. And I'm one of those few weird people that is actually a people person. I love people. I love people from all over the world. I think that people are fascinating. Drawing these imaginary boundaries just confuses me. Like it doesn't make sense. You know, wait, you're telling me I can't go visit my friend because they live in another country and I have to fill out all this paperwork? And believe me, you don't know the paperwork I filled out to get to come and see you. There is
Wow.
so much paperwork. Yeah, so much paperwork. But yeah, I don't see it. I don't see the borders. I don't understand why they're there. We're all just people, you know?
Another thing that baffles me, again, coming from a spiritual point of view, is the fact that we have to pay to live on a planet.
Yes.
Yeah, what is that all about? That's never really sat well with me.
Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me.
No other animal does the same. You don't see giraffes or zebras getting the checkbook out every month, do you?
No, you
So why are we doing it?
That's a really good question and one that I've been asking for many years. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And then the people who decide not to participate and go off and, build their own house and, don't bother with uh, building codes and grow all their own food and, just live completely off the grid. And somehow, at least in this country, they keep trying to make that illegal. Like,
Wow.
yeah, like, well, they're not contributing to the tax base. They're also not using the tax base. They're not, they're
Yeah.
typically not driving cars. They are typically not using the roadways, right? They're not paying taxes, but they're not getting any benefits from the taxes either. So, I don't understand that part of the human condition, I guess. Like, you're right. It doesn't make any sense that we have to pay to live. Literally. And in this country, it's even more so because we don't have any kind of unified healthcare.
Excuse me.
Yeah. We have to pay for our healthcare and it's very expensive. And so,
Wow.
yeah. So, I don't get that either. Like, how is healthcare not a human right? In this country, it isn't. It's not
Yeah.
a human right. Yeah.
It's hard to get your head around it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when you're working with spirit and different dimensions.
Yep. Yeah.
It's sometimes hard to, when you do come back into center, into physical body after working, it takes, I don't know about you, it takes a while to acclimatize back into this energy, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And very often I don't want to. I'd rather kind of exist in that higher vibration and not come back to this sometimes. And I don't mean that like in a I'm going to take my own life kind of a way. It's just
No, no.
easier to exist in that higher vibration. It's a whole lot less taxing
Mm,
on
I
every level.
agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So I am curious to see what the comments are going to be on this show when it airs. And I'm excited that we got to sit down and have another conversation. Is there anything else you'd like to add as long as we're here?
Healing the healers. Yeah, let's see if I can get something from my guides.
Okay.
Okay, on this one. What I'm hearing, and I'll repeat what I'm hearing. It is your divine right to be a vessel of love and a receptacle of love. By stepping out of the way and allowing yourself to just be with non-judgment, with that's it. with none,
And
nothing. Okay, they just stop there, so I can't give you any more than that.
that's
So just
perfect.
allowing ourselves to be,
Yeah.
and maybe none is referring to in the space where there's everything and nothing. You
Hmm.
know, in the God connection, the God source, there's
Yeah.
everything and there's nothing, all in that.
I love that. I love that. Let's see what my guides have to say. So what I'm hearing is that when we signed up for the human experience, we knew that it was in order to be who we've chosen to be, the healers, the light workers, the givers, that we were going to understand at a deeper level the human condition than a lot of other people do. And that's why we have agreed to some of the experiences that we have had, and understanding that, okay, I agreed to it, I understand it, and to not try to shortcut it to ease our own discomfort. Because if we're shortcutting it, then we're not fully feeling it and we're not fully experiencing it. So, and it gives us the opportunity again to allow others to help us and to give to others in that way. And that's what I got from my spirit guides.
Absolutely perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, we're coming up on an hour already. I don't know where that hour went, but
That's flown by.
it sure has. What have you got? Do you have anything fun coming up?
For me, doing my regular things, doing the live conversations, obviously the radio shows as well, and one with your good self. What else have I got coming up? Oh yes, behind the scenes, involved with the Supernatural UK. I did a few episodes with them last year. Now, I believe from what I hear, those episodes are in production, and at some stage they will be released when they see fit for them to come out. So I'm excited to birth
Awesome.
them into the world, because they were some fantastic episodes we did there last year. Other than that, it's Notes to the Grindstone, healing thyself a little bit as well, finding space for that, enjoying playing with the band. We've just been playing a lot around Yorkshire. We was in Leeds last Sunday. Sorry,
Awesome.
last Saturday. We're there again this Saturday, a different venue entirely. So I really enjoy doing that at the moment. It seems to be feeding my soul. Again, going with the topic, healing the healers. The music is healing my soul, but the projection of that music and performance is healing those in the audience as well. So I'm loving being a part of that at this
I
moment in
love
time.
that. I love
Uh,
that.
so
That's
what
amazing.
about yourself? What have you got
Um,
planned?
well, I've got one event coming up this coming
Oh,
weekend.
okay.
Yeah, this coming weekend, I will be at Witches and Wellness event in DeKalb, Illinois, and I will be speaking on, appropriately enough, uh, energy management, managing your own energy, protecting your energy. So I will be speaking on that, and I will also be conducting a seance there on Sunday. So
Oh,
yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'll be doing readings on Saturday and Sunday, and hanging out with my good friend Deidre. So that'll be cool. And yeah, it'll be a really good weekend, and just grandson time this week. Really looking forward to just hanging out with that little guy. And it's summer, so we can go for walks and we can go swimming. We can do all kinds of fun stuff. So yeah, that's what
that
I got
sounds
going on.
absolutely perfect. I can't
Yes.
wait to hear about how your weekend went. Doing all of that beautiful work and the seance work as well. My ears pricked up when you said that.
Yeah, I enjoy doing seances. They're fun. They're fun. They're usually full of funny people coming through. So yeah, it's all good. It was
That's what
Glenn.
you want.
Yep. This has been an amazing hour. Thank you so much for your time and your energy, and for skipping dinner or whatever it is you're doing there to be with me at this time of day.
I mean,
And
just look at me. Do I look like I skip meals?
and I want to thank everyone who tunes in, who listens on all of our different outlets here at All Access Network Television. And heads up, look for Into the Void on All Access Network Television, as well as Glenn's YouTube channel and my YouTube channel, ParaMystic Podcast. It'll be coming up on that as well. And a few other social outlets too. I can't even keep track. It's too much. So thank you, everyone. And we'll see you again next time on ParaMystic Podcast.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kristina.
Thank
Bye.
you.